Hello, and welcome to today's news briefing. I'm Dana, and joining me is Matt. We're covering a range of stories from politics to entertainment. Let's start with the latest from Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelensky has come out against holding elections in Ukraine while the conflict with Russia continues. He believes it would be too dangerous and could potentially split the country.
That's a significant statement. What was the context behind his remarks?
Zelensky made these comments after his former defense minister suggested organizing a vote. The president argued that elections during wartime pose a huge risk to the country's stability.
It seems like a controversial topic. How has the Ukrainian public reacted to this stance?
The articles don't provide a clear public reaction, but it's worth noting that Ukraine has suspended elections under martial law, a measure that still has widespread support.
So, what's the current status of martial law in Ukraine?
Martial law is still in effect, and elections remain suspended. Zelensky's comments suggest this stance is likely to continue for the foreseeable future.
That actually ties into the broader context of the war. Have there been any other significant developments in the conflict recently?
Not in the articles we've seen so far, but let's move on to another political story. Pete Buttigieg has returned to South Carolina, a state where he previously ran for president. He's reportedly considering another White House bid.
Interesting. What was the significance of his visit to South Carolina this time?
The last time Buttigieg spoke in South Carolina, it was after a disappointing primary finish that ended his campaign. This visit suggests he's taking steps towards a potential second run.
How does this fit into the broader Democratic Party landscape?
The reporting doesn't provide much detail on that, but it's clear Buttigieg is taking his potential candidacy seriously by reconnecting with voters in key states.
That makes sense. Let's switch gears to another political story.
Kazakhstan held a parliamentary election recently, which is expected to further consolidate President Kassym Tokayev's power.
What are the implications of this election for Kazakhstan's political landscape?
The election is seen as a move to strengthen Tokayev's grip on power in Central Asia's largest nation. The pro-presidential Adalet Party is predicted to win overwhelmingly.
So it seems like a relatively predictable outcome. Are there any concerns about the fairness of the election?
The articles don't mention specific concerns about the election's fairness, but it's worth noting that such elections in authoritarian-leaning countries often face scrutiny.
That ties into a broader pattern we've seen in other nations. Let's move to another international story.
Iran's president has defended a memorandum of understanding with the United States, calling it the best way to end a stalled war.
What's the context of this memorandum and which war is being referred to?
The articles don't provide much detail on the specific war or the terms of the memorandum. However, it's clear there's ongoing conflict that Iran is involved in.
It sounds like a complex situation. Have there been any other significant developments in the Middle East recently?
The new head of Iran's top security body has taken a more forceful tone, according to the reporting. This could indicate a shift in Iran's stance on regional issues.
That could have significant implications for the region. Let's switch to a different topic.
Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law and former advisor, met with House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. This meeting comes as control of the House is still up for grabs in the upcoming elections.
What was the significance of this meeting between Kushner and Jeffries?
The meeting suggests the White House is seeking ways to work with Democrats, potentially in the event they gain majority control in the House.
That's an interesting development. How might this impact legislative priorities or bipartisan cooperation?
The articles don't provide much detail on the specific discussions, but it indicates a willingness to engage across party lines on certain issues.
Let's move into some economic news.
SATA Technology Company Limited has announced a dividend of $0.05. This is a straightforward corporate announcement.
What does this mean for shareholders, and is there any broader significance to this dividend?
Shareholders will receive the dividend, and it's a positive sign for investors. However, there's no broader market impact mentioned in the articles.
Okay, let's look at another economic story.
Indian officials, including Sitharaman and Goyal, are leading a global outreach effort. This involves visiting key economies to push for trade deals and investment.
What are the main goals of this outreach, and which economies are they targeting?
The focus is on strengthening economic ties and promoting investment. The specific economies aren't detailed, but it's part of India's effort to enhance its global economic presence.
That makes sense. Let's move to a tech-related story.
NVIDIA has warned some of its major customers about a potential 15% price hike for AI servers due to rising memory chip costs.
How might this price increase affect NVIDIA's customers and the broader AI industry?
The price hike could complicate data center expansion plans and give memory makers more leverage. It might also create opportunities for NVIDIA's rivals.
That could have significant implications for the AI sector. Let's look at another tech giant.
Alibaba is planning a $10 billion share sale in Hong Kong to fund its AI infrastructure expansion.
What are the details of this share sale, and where will the funds be used?
Alibaba will issue new shares worth $10.2 billion, with the proceeds earmarked for AI-related development. This is part of the company's aggressive push into AI.
That's a substantial investment. How does this fit into Alibaba's broader business strategy?
The move is part of Alibaba's effort to aggressively bankroll its AI infrastructure and remain competitive in the tech space.
Let's switch to some sports news.
The Sydney Marathon has unveiled a finisher's medal that depicts the wrong stadium, showing the Allianz Arena in Munich instead of the intended stadium.
That's quite an error. How did the organizers respond to this mistake?
The marathon organizers admitted it was an unfortunate error and acknowledged the discrepancy between the medal design and the actual Sydney landmarks.
Well, at least they owned up to it. Let's move to another sports story.
Lando Norris won the Dutch Grand Prix, while Kimi Antonelli extended his F1 championship lead.
What were the key moments in the race that led to Norris's victory?
Norris started on pole, but was overtaken at a restart. He then made a daring move to pass Antonelli to secure the win.
That sounds like an exciting race. How does this result impact the championship standings?
Antonelli's second-place finish helped him increase his championship lead despite Norris's victory.
Let's look at some transfer news in football.
Manchester City has agreed to sign midfielder Ayoub Bouadi from Lille in a deal worth around $117 million.
That's a significant transfer. What are the details of the deal?
The initial fee is reported to be around $95 million, with potential add-ons. Bouadi is considered one of City's most expensive signings.
How does this fit into Manchester City's transfer strategy?
The signing is part of City's effort to strengthen their squad, particularly in midfield. Bouadi is seen as a promising young talent.
Let's move to some baseball news.
Yankees pitcher Ryan Weathers has been placed on the injured list with a forearm flexor strain, but is optimistic about returning by the end of the season.
What's the nature of Weathers' injury, and how long is he expected to be out?
Weathers has a left forearm flexor strain and is on the 15-day injured list. He's hopeful for a return before the season ends.
Let's switch to some entertainment news.
Bunny Levine, known for her roles in Gilmore Girls and La La Land, has passed away at 97.
What was her background, and how did she transition into acting?
Levine was a former school librarian who took early retirement and began acting. She appeared in numerous shows and films.
That's a fascinating career transition. Let's look at another entertainment story.
Shelley Fabares, star of The Donna Reed Show and Coach, has died at 82.
What were some of her most notable roles, and how is she remembered?
Fabares was known for her roles in The Donna Reed Show and several Elvis Presley movies. She's remembered fondly for her work in television.
Let's move to a story about child actors.
Melissa Gilbert is calling for better protection and support for child actors following the deaths of former child stars.
What specific changes is Gilbert advocating for?
Gilbert is pushing for changes in how young actors are treated and supported as they grow up in the entertainment industry.
That's a critical issue. Let's look at another celebrity health update.
Bret Michaels has been ordered to stop performing due to health issues following kidney stone surgery.
What are the details of his condition, and how long is he expected to be out?
Michaels is taking time off to recover from recent surgeries. The exact timeline for his return isn't specified.
Let's move to another health update.
Lucy Davis, known for The Office, has made her first public appearance after being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
How is she handling the diagnosis, and what advice is she sharing?
Davis is being open about her experience and is grateful for the support she's received. She's using her platform to raise awareness.
That's a courageous stance. Let's finish with a unique story.
Humanoid robots have broken human records in sprint and high jump events at the Beijing Robot Games.
Wow, that's impressive. What are the implications of these robots' performance?
The robots' achievements demonstrate significant advancements in robotics and AI. They're being tested in various scenario-based challenges.
That's a fascinating development. It looks like we've covered all the major stories for today.
Exactly. I think we've provided a comprehensive overview of the news across various categories.
Well, that's all for today's briefing. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and we'll see you next time. It's been a long day of covering all these stories.